Yo, what's up, guys? So today, guys, it became official. Gennaro Gattuso has been hired by the FIGC to become the next manager of the Italian national team. Now, guys, what can I say about this hire? I think we can all acknowledge, guys, that obviously Gennaro Gattuso was not the number one choice to be the coach of the Italian national team. He's obviously not everyone's favorite choice, of course. Obviously, there was probably better options out there, guys, but I think we could all agree that Gattuso is the type of manager that maybe they need at the moment now, because the way that this national team is playing right now, guys, they are not playing good enough. They're not putting 100% effort into the national team right now. So I think Ravina has decided, let's get a guy in like Gattuso, someone who's tough-minded, always demands 100%, well-respected, of course. This guy's obviously a World Cup champion. He won in 06 with Italy, of course. This guy's won Champions League, Serie A. The guy's an absolute winner, of course, as a player. Now, obviously, as a coach, he hasn't been very successful, obviously. The only time he's been successful, really, is when he won a Coppa Italia managing Napoli. He's obviously managed Napoli, like I just mentioned. He's managed, obviously, my beloved AC Milan. He's managed Marseille, Hajduk Split, Valencia, Pisa. So he's been around a lot, managing different clubs in different leagues, obviously. But he hasn't lasted very long. Now, this is the biggest challenge of his coaching career, guys. Taking on the national team is obviously such a massive, massive job. And Italy obviously have a lot of problems right now. And guys, look, obviously we all know the FIGC is a mess right now. They should have sacked Spalletti after the Euro. I think we could all agree on that. They could have had better options available to them instead of hiring Gattuso. I love Gattuso, of course, guys, but obviously I would have preferred somebody with a lot more experience tactically, someone who has won more as a manager. But obviously, because the FIGC made some horrendous decisions, like I mentioned, keeping Spalletti on, the options are limited. So this is why they've decided to go for Gattuso. So I understand why they have gone for Gennaro Gattuso, but at the same time, I think we could all agree that the FIGC is a mess as well. Ravina's a disaster. How things have gone since the Euro, obviously. World Cup qualifications up in the air. Now, Gattuso, like I mentioned, has a big job ahead of him. He's got to get these players playing the best to their abilities, guys, regardless of who the opponent is. We have seen many, many times Italy play down to their opponent. They have done this many times in the past in qualification, guys. They have made us frustrated doing it, tying against teams that they should not be tying, winning against teams, only like 1 or 2-0, questionable wins for them, the way they've been playing. So now Gattuso has to come in there and play a type of style that Italy can adapt to, the way the players can adapt to. Spalletti tried doing that, going with 3 at the back to adapt for certain players. It didn't work clearly. If I was Gattuso, I'd maybe go to a back 4, maybe go to a 4-3-3. You could have a really strong midfield of maybe Rovella and Ricci with Tonali and Barella. That's just an opinion of mine, guys. You can leave a comment. Who else you think could be starting, guys, for Italy? But Gattuso has a tough test ahead of him. But the options there, like I said, guys, were limited. I think he's a good manager, a good motivator. That is the key thing, guys, that I like about the hire, is that he will put up with no nonsense. He will make sure, like I said, they will put in 100% effort. And he's got to make the right decisions with the players and who he should start and who he should call up. There is a lot of difficult decisions he is going to have to make, and he has never had to deal with this before with the national team, obviously, now taking on this job. Being a club manager is very different from managing the national team, guys. I think we could all agree on that. It is a very difficult job. And the way things have been going for Italy now, the pressure is extremely immense because of the fact that we could be missing our 3rd straight World Cup if things do not turn quickly for the national team, guys. But he has a decent foundation. Obviously, we don't have world-class talent compared to other nations, of course. But he has to go in there, and obviously, he's going to demand immediate respect because, like I mentioned, guys, the guy's a winner as a player. He has credentials. He has done what it's taken. He knows what it takes to win, guys. And I think right away, the players will respect him immediately. Look, Sandro Tonali loved this player. He wears the number 8 because of him, just as an example, as one player. He will automatically go in there and fight for this manager and do what it takes. Even though they're playing for the national team, they should be showing pride regardless. This team here, guys, I think we all agree, they need a kick in the bloody ass. They really need a manager to go in there and says, oh, what kind of play is this, honestly? And I think Gattuso is the type of manager that can get this team steered in the right direction. Now, like I mentioned, he may not be as strong tactically. We'll have to see how he does with formations and, like I mentioned as well, player call-ups. Those are a lot of question marks, guys. A lot of things have been mentioned as well as about how Barzagli might be on his staff, Bonucci might be on his staff, Zambrotta, Prandelli might come back to be in a technical role. So a lot of people are going to come in, help him out. You know, Buffon will stay on his job there with the national team. So he won't be alone, guys. People that he's won the World Cup with, of course. You know, Prandelli, obviously a former manager, hasn't been involved in Calcio for a few years. So he'll have to get involved in his new role if he does get hired. I'm pretty sure he will be. But a lot of question marks, guys. I'm excited to see what Gattuso does as manager. Hopefully, he can get us qualified for a World Cup next summer. Would be absolutely great to see. We all know he's going to be very animated on the touchlines, yelling and screaming, demanding players doing the right things on the field. So that's going to be fun to watch. Love to see him get animated and passionate on the touchline. He managed Milan for a stint. He got Milan going in the right direction, guys. You know, Milan obviously was not looking good. He turned them in the right direction. They played a lot more aggressive, a lot more harder. But when Bonucci came to Milan, he was doing disastrous. When Gattuso went there, Bonucci's play got a lot better as the season went on. Certainly with other players as well. Guys like Romagnoli, just to name another player there. Guys, I know it was a long time ago, but I'm just mentioning that he can get players putting in a better effort than they were under Spalletti. Obviously, things weren't looking good under Spalletti. That's why they had to make the change. They should have sacked him after the Euro, like I said. Gravina obviously has made a mess of this. But now, guys, we have to support Gennaro Gattuso as the next manager. It may not be the most popular hire, as I've seen on Twitter and everything else. But he is the manager now, guys. We have to accept it. And we just have to support the national team and hope to God he does a good job and get this team to coming to North America next summer for a World Cup, guys. But we'll see what happens, guys. That's it for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Forza Italia sempre, as always, guys. Remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.